Good morning, Christine Berg and Wes Berg.
Hello there.
And it's time for the tarot card of the day. So Wes is shuffling and picking the card.
There we go.
Card of the day, Page of Swords. In case, like Vanessa, you're watching later, like, yeah, swords all the time. The Page of Swords. I'm handing you over to Wes.
Well, hello. Talking about the Page of Swords today is the card of the day. I want to bring it up again just so everyone has a chance to kind of get a look. Court card. These are the things that exist here in the tarot. Court cards can be all sorts of stuff. Sometimes they can actually represent people that are going to show up in your life. Sometimes they represent you. Sometimes they represent aspects of you. So it's the consideration of a personality type, or at least some characteristics of a personality. So when I see something like in this situation for like a card of the day, and I see this. I've got two ideas that I want to introduce to everyone here. One is that this is an opportunity for you to think about the aspect of this card, or that someone is going to represent the aspect of this card to you today. The aspect of the card, you say, what is that? Well, I'll tell you. So Page of Swords is, swords are about communication. Swords can sometimes represent a sense of conflict, but mostly it's about communication. That's what its intended meaning is. So how does that communication manifest? So for a lot of people, pages are new endeavors. Sometimes they represent young people, but sometimes it's just the newness, the youngness of a situation or a particular embodiment of this suit. So blah, blah, blah. What that means is for you ultimately is that this is a nice opportunity if you're thinking about starting a new endeavor, if you're thinking about starting something that involves communicating an idea, communicating a thought, if this is a journal entry, if this is you pitching a job to someone, if this is you starting or initiating something new that revolves you and kind of doing something you might not have done before, or trying a new idea out, this might be something to consider. If you've been thinking, well, I've got a project, I've got this thing, I want to pursue it. This might be saying, all right, just be that new person, represent and embody that new situation, and just go ahead and see what happens. You know, I guess intuitively I would say if that's what you feel, then go for it. Don't feel intimidated by it, but just kind of, if you feel like you're going to stumble through it. It's all good. This could also be representing someone that you're going to be working with today who's going to be this person. They're going to be coming to you with new ideas and want to pitch stuff. And they might have communication be the issue, but in terms of being awkward or just trying to get stuff through, but they're going to muscle your way through, and it's up to you to decide whether you want to be patient with it or not. Or just work with it. So again, it's kind of up to you, but look for this aspect. Look for this sense of new things being communicated, new attempts at communication. And if this resonates with you today, I guess the question is for you to consider whether or not it's something you want to do. If you want to embrace it or just at least consider it. I don't know. I know that's kind of open-ended, but I think the idea of introducing it is more important than anything else. So, all right. I just said a lot. I'm going to pass this to Chrissy. One moment.
Hello. So I'm gonna remind Wes, like anytime, you're taking a class or learning from people, I'm gonna see who's here. Hi, Rachel. Hi. So anytime you're learning from somebody, they tell you as you're learning the cards, it's great to associate it with a person that you know or a celebrity who helps you kind of remember who that card is. And so Wes and I were having a giggle about this card a bit ago because we were thinking the reverse, because sometimes you get the cards in reversed. And the reverse of this is like the SNL skit for anybody who watches it, the drama club kids who are very, naive intellectual snobs.
The high school drama club.
The high school drama club, and they, are all very dramatic and stuff, like they've taken their poli-sci class and now they're going to teach everybody else. Now they know things, but that's in the reverse. So just to kind of go into some of the learning part of the card. So the sword is the element of air. And the Page of Swords, if you look at the card, we've got his stance, which is about to strike, you know, and so he's prepared. This could be a defensive position. We also have a parting of the clouds. So this could be a breath of fresh air, or it could be a communication that clears the air. So that's a possibility as well. So when we're looking at this can be defensive. This card can mean, and now I'm reading from the Tarot Lady, our Teresa Reed, the coloring book. This is a card to remind you to do your due diligence and gather information. Important news might be coming in. It could be the solution to the problem that you've been waiting for, right? And so the page is just kind of curious about the world and quite independent. So going to the angels, which is the Doreen Virtue one, which I always love. So for the situation, because in the court cards, as Wes was talking about, it can be a situation, it could be a person that this card represents. So if we're talking in terms of a situation, let's see, it could be you'll likely receive new information that presents a challenge or delays. The message may come from someone who speaks bluntly and without thoughtfulness, but don't take it personally. What's important is the message, not the messenger. Oh, that's good. As a person, this says a youth who's often intelligent, honest, and endlessly curious, a person who's analytical with a brilliant intellect and who can reveal the truth behind situations, fair, logical, unemotional, and impulsive. Additional meanings, a new challenge, a contract or agreement, constructive criticism, legal matters, or gossip. So I'm thinking going back to Wes. Oh, back to Wes.
Yeah. I got a few seconds here before I got to take off, but I just wanted to touch base. Court cards are kind of complicated in that, as you might have imagined from what we've just both been talking about, there's a lot that can be considered as far as personalities directly, literally, or personalities figuratively. So that's just wanted to state that, like, whatever resonates with you. If it's a person that might be coming up to you today that kind of has these characteristics, that's great. If it's something that kind of like, I think the gist of what Chrissy was just touching on, sometimes it's content that's more important than form. And so that's something to kind of consider as you're muscling through potential ideas. But communication, I think, is ultimately the thing about it. I'm going to pass it over now again, but take care, everyone.
Yeah, if I had to do my intuitive hit on this one, I think that this one is a communication that clears the air for me. Pluck out of this whatever stands for you. For me, this is a communication that I needed, a relaying of an understanding. For me, that's kind of my hit on this one. So that's all for today. See you tomorrow. Bye, guys.